Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. I thank you again for joining me. Today, I want to talk about the return of the Stone of Destiny. A lot of you have never heard of what the Stone of Destiny is, and I was planning on doing this, like a week back. This sermon here, broadcast, whatever, and unfortunately, about a little over a week ago, we lost the beloved Queen Elizabeth II, and this ties in with the Stone of Destiny. Now, I'm going to explain what the Stone of Destiny is, and King Charles III, he's going to be coronated and officially crowned while setting over this stone. He's supposed to, at least, but it's an interesting thing, and I'm going to get into the history. I got these two books here to help you out and explain with what I recall, recollect, whatever. But anyways, the picture, here's what a picture looks like. And if you see this is a seat of St. George, a throne, St. George, or St. Edward, St. Edward. And underneath you see that rock, looks like a big cement block down there. That is the Stone of Destiny. Okay, now I'm going to refer to these two books here. By the way, I did a book review on this book, Judah's Scepter and Joseph's Birthright by John Hardin Allen, and The United States and Britain in Prophecy by Herbert W. Armstrong here. So please, look back and look at them videos. But anyways, I'm gonna just read, give you little answers of what this stone is. Okay. This stone is a dull reddish and purplish sandstone with a few small embedded pebbles. One of these is quartz and two others of a dark material. The rock is calcareous and is of that kind which masons call freestone. Chisel marks are visible on one or more of its sides. There is no rock of this kind in England, Ireland, or Scotland. But the Reverend Canon Tristram says that there is a stratum of sandstone near the Dead Sea, just like this stone, which by the English people is called Jacob's Pillar Stone. And I'll get into the story of Jacob and his pillar stone in a second. This stone is called by the Irish and by the Scottish Leah Fail, and the Stone of Destiny. It's also called the Stone of Scone, the Bethel Stone. In Irish, Leah, L-I-A, is stone, and Fail, F-A-I-L, is fate. Hence, the Stone of Fate or the Stone of Destiny. But it is that only because it is Jacob's pillar stone. This is the reason that Tiatifa was called the daughter of Yahweh's house. And Tiatifa was by legend and everything, Irish legends, daughter of Zedekiah, the last king of Judah. And it says log or lug, Celtic for Yahweh, and A-I-D-H, a house, hence the word Lugheda. Amergin, chief bard of King Dermod, monarch of Ireland, in the 6th century, and the notes of the Annals of the Four Masters refer to Tiatifa as follows. A rampart was raised around her house for Tia, the daughter of Lugdiah. She was buried outside in her mound, and from her it was named Tia Mur. So we got that right here. Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to skip back here. It says here, think of it. For more than 700 years, this stone has been in Westminster Abbey. But actually, in the late 90s, it was returned to Scotland, Scone, Scotland, on the conditions that every time there'd be a coronation of a king or a queen in England, it would be loaned out so they could be crowned over this stone. Dean Stanley, in his Memorials of Westminster Abbey, says the chief object of attraction to this day to the innumerable visitors of the Abbey is probably that ancient Irish monument of the empire known as the Coronation Stone. He calls it the precious relic and says that King Edward said that it is the one primeval monument which binds together the whole empire. Think about that for a second. The dean further adds, the iron rings that battered surface, the crack which has all but rent its solid mass asunder, bear witness to its long migrations. It is thus embedded in the heart of the English monarch, an element of poetic, patriarchal, heathen times, which, like Nua's threshing floor in the midst of the Temple of Solomon, carried back our thoughts to races of customs now almost extinct, a link which unites the throne of England with the traditions of Tara and Iona, and connects the charm of our complex civilization with the favors of Mother Earth, the stocks and stones of savage nature. Faithful or foolish, the sentiment of the nation has, through 300 generations of living men, made it felt that Jacob's pillar stone was a thing worth dying for in battle. By the Treaty of Northampton in 1328, the emeralds, pearls, and rubies were carried off without a murmur. But the ragged old stone, oh no, the Londoners would have died for that. The stone of Scone, on which it was the custom for the kings of Scotland to be set up their coronation, the Londoners would on no account allow this to be sent away. Of course, they wouldn't let it be sent away. Skipped another part. Prior to the time that King Kenneth had his verse engraved on the coronation stone, there was a prophetic verse which had attached itself to it, which Sir Walter Scott has rendered one word accepted as followed: unless the fates are faithless grown, and prophet's voice be vain, where is found this sacred stone? The wanderer's race shall reign. I like that little touch of poetic, poetic charm here. And I'm gonna read this part here to you. Skipping around, I'm just skipping around here. But there are still other facts connected with the arrival of the princess in Ireland, which, as we consider them, will strengthen our faith more and more. Tia Tifa was accompanied by an aged guardian who was called Olam Fola, more Hebrew words which mean revealer or prophet. The prophet was accompanied by a man who was his scribe, whom the Chronicles of Ireland called Brug or Brook. Barak was Jeremiah's scribe. While they were in Judea, he went with them with the little remnant to Egypt and escaped when the rest did for his life. Like the lives of the rest of the party was to be preserved in all places whether they go. The little company disappeared from Egypt, but surely they reappeared in Ireland, for marvel of marvels. They brought with them a pillar stone, which was ever since been used as a coronation stone of the kingdom. So just think about that. Now I'm going to go to here to this Herbert W. Armstrong, what he quotes here. Excuse me. Jeremiah brought with them some remarkable things, including a harp, an ark, and a wonderful stone called Leophil, or the Stone of Destiny. That's Irish folklore, of course. And of course, Jeremiah, last we know about in the Bible, they went down to Egypt, but it didn't say anything else. But in some scriptures in Jeremiah actually hint that he had a much deeper commission to do. And of course, Zedekiah, all the princes were executed, his eyes were taken out and everything. But of course, Nebuchadnezzar never thought about if the king had daughters, and Jeremiah had to preserve the royal line of David, because that was a promise. Yahweh promised that, to David, and throughout scriptures, your kingdom, your rule, your kingdom will stand forever. And, he's not a liar. Yahweh doesn't lie about it. So anyways, go back here and see if I could skip down to something else. On the occasion of Queen Victoria's coronation in June 28th, 1837, an article appeared in the London Sun which gives a description of the coronation chair and the coronation stone as follows. This chair, commonly called St. Edward's chair, is an ancient seat of solid hardwood with back and sides of the same, variously painted, in which the kings of Scotland were in former periods constantly crowned, but having been brought out of the kingdom by Edward I in the year 1296, which that's Longshanks, King Longshanks, after he had totally overcome John Balliol, King of Scots. It has ever since remained in the Abbey of Westminster and has been the chair in which the succeeding kings and queens of this realm have been inaugurated. It is in height 6 feet and 7 inches, its breadth and its bottom 38 inches, and in depth 24 inches. From the seat of the bottom is 25 inches, the breadth of the seat within the sides of 28 inches, and the depth 18 inches. At 9 inches from the ground is a board supported by 4 columns by as many lions between the seat and this board is enclosed a stone commonly called Jacob's, or the fatal marble stone, which is an oblong of about 22 inches in length, 13 inches broad, and 11 inches deep, of a steel color mixed with some vein of red. History relates that it is the stone whereupon the patriarch Jacob laid his head in the plain of Luz. This is, as you see, was published more than 60 years ago, before it was thought possible that the Anglo-Saxons were the descendants of Joseph, the inheritor of the birthright blessings which God gave his father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So, that's pretty perplexing, It's, and yeah, of course, if you go to Genesis, 28 and read the story of the Jacob and the pillar stone and everything. And then I think the other scripture says he comes back for it. He left it there, but he comes back for it, and that's I believe it's Genesis 35. I believe it is, and ever since, it is claimed and said that all sovereigns have been crowned over that stone of destiny. And I just wanted to share this with you, the significance of this, because King Charles is going to be crowned and is going to have the stone under. He's going to be on the chair. They're going to do their regal rituals, ceremonies, and performances, whatever. And it's remarkable because it was since 1953 is when there was last coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. She had a really, really long reign. She had a really long, fruitful life. Yeah, sure, there might have been some scandals in the family, but she lived up in her 90s. Wow, that's just remarkable. And Charles, I don't know, in his 70s or something, or close to it, right around 70s. He might, most likely, we all know he ain't gonna have a long, long reign. And then it goes to Prince William, the son of Charles. But I just wanted to share that with you. And I thank you again for joining me. And, my condolences goes out to the royal family and, the Commonwealth for the loss of their beloved queen. And anyways, that's all I want to say right now. I thank you again for joining me. And please give me a big thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and also subscribe. And I thank you again for joining me. Until we meet again, peace out and shalom.